Testament. The stories about Joseph. Joseph came from family of Jacob, lived in the land of Canaan. It was a promised land. Joseph was one of Jacob's sons. He was 17 years old. Jacob loves Joseph more than he loved his other son. This made the other son angry. Jacob made a beautiful coat for Joseph. It had many colors. Joseph had two dreams. He told his dreams to his brothers. His dreams meant that he would be their leader. Joseph's brothers did not want him to be their leader. They hated him. Joseph's brothers took care of the animals. They took the animals far from home to find food. Genesis 37:12. One day, Jacob told Joseph to go find his brothers. Jacob wanted to know if they were all right. Joseph went to look for his brothers. They saw him coming. They wanted to kill Joseph. One brother did not want to kill Joseph. He said they should put Joseph into the hole in the ground. They took Joseph's coat away from him. They put Joseph in the hole. Jacob saw the blood on Joseph's coat. He thought a wild animal had killed Joseph. Jacob cried. He was sad for a long time. He loved Joseph very much. He thought Joseph was dead. The men who bought Joseph took him to Egypt. They sold him to a man named Potiphar. Potiphar was a soldier, was the king of Egypt. Potiphar made Joseph his slave. God helped Joseph to do good work. Potiphar saw the God helped Joseph. Potiphar liked and trusted Joseph. He made Joseph the leader of all his servants. Joseph took care of everything Potiphar had. Potiphar's wife also liked Joseph. She tried to make Joseph kiss her. Joseph knew this was not right. Joseph ran away from her. Potiphar was angry at Joseph. He put Joseph in prison. Two of the king's servants were in prison with Joseph. They told Joseph about their dreams. Joseph told them what their dreams meant. One servant was killed. The other was let out in prison. Joseph stayed in prison for 2 years. The king of Egypt had some dreams. He did not understand his dreams. No one could tell him what they meant. The king's servants remembered Joseph. He told the king about Joseph. He said Joseph would understand the king's dreams. The king sent for Joseph. Joseph said God told him that the king's dreams meant. Joseph said people in Egypt would have more food than they needed for 7 years. Then there would be a famine. No food would grow for 7 years. Joseph said the people must store food. Then they would have food when the famine came. The king believed Joseph. He made Joseph a leader of the people. The people did what Joseph told them to do. They stored food for 7 years. After 7 years, there was a famine. No food grew. People went to Joseph to buy food. Then the people had enough to eat. They were glad they obeyed Joseph. The famine was in other lands too. People heard about the food in Egypt. They went to Egypt to buy food. Jacob sent his oldest son to Egypt to buy food. Joseph saw his brothers. They did not know him. He did not tell them he was their brother. Joseph told them to bring all the brothers to Egypt. They bought some food and went home. When the food was gone, the brothers went back to Egypt. Joseph took them to his house. Joseph told his brothers who he was. They were afraid because they had sold him. Joseph said they should not be afraid. God sent him to Egypt to save them from the famine. He told them to tell his father he was alive. Joseph said all of Jacob's family should come to Egypt. He would take care of them. The brothers were happy. They went home. They told Jacob that Joseph was alive. Jacob was very happy. Jacob and his sons took their families to Egypt. They were called Israelites. The king of Egypt gave the Israelite land and animals. They were happy to be in Egypt.
A story from ancient times provides a poignant example of how mercy and justice intersect in our lives and our relationships.
A young man named Joseph was hated and mistreated by his brothers. They even contemplated killing him, but finally settled on selling him into slavery. For some 20 years, Joseph toiled in Egypt, far from his home and family, with plenty of time to think about his brothers had done to him. Then through a strange, miraculous series of events, Joseph became a ruler in Egypt, second only to the Pharaoh. A famine had driven Joseph's starving brothers to Egypt to ask for food, and Joseph had the authority to grant or deny them their request. They didn't recognize him, and their lives were in his hands. It would have seemed just perhaps for Joseph to allow them to starve or maybe even sell them into slavery. But that isn't what Joseph did. Instead, after verifying their sincerity and integrity, Joseph revealed himself to his started brothers and invited the whole family to join him in abundance in Egypt. His brothers certainly didn't deserve it, but these acts of mercy and grace blessed the family for generations to come. Justice and mercy often seems to be at odds, and most of us tend to lean toward one another. When we've been wrong, we like to see justice served. When we're done wrong, we hope for mercy. Can the two ever be reconciled? Can justice prevail without sacrificing mercy? Can mercy be extended without robbing justice? Thankfully, we can count on God, who is both perfectly just and perfect merciful. He loves his children but also corrects them. He sets high standards, marking a straight and narrow paths. But he also provides a way back for all who wander off that paths. God's mercy is just, and his justice is merciful. Perhaps we could remember that perfect model as we consider how view justice and extend mercy. Finding the right balance takes time and practice. We all make mistakes, of course, but as we do, loving and fair God will offer each of us a perfect measure of mercy and justice.